but not going too far afield. With your hands, if he comes to kick and I parry, this is the best thing humanly possible because now he literally doesn't have a leg to stand on. Right? In the old days, we would just go straight in for the knee. Boom. This doesn't make for good sport because, again, if I break his knee in every practice, there's going to not be a lot of people to play with. So we usually just tend to do it into a takedown. That doesn't mean, though, if you develop this skill in kickboxing by going like this and going like this, or going like this and getting the takedown, you're still learning how to catch the kick. If you want to be nasty and then stomp on somebody's knee, you can do that once you have the leg.
So with the side kick, do you still parry?
You parry it because you want to get it out of the way. There's no side kick, you get it out of the way. Right? This is why also we make a big deal with our side kick of coming in and coming back. Because if I leave my leg stiff, you get spun around and you get kicked. If you go to a Thai boxing gym, most Thai boxing gyms, they're of the opinion that the side kick is worthless because they've seen people mostly that stiff leg the side kick and they'll tell you, I'll parry it out of the way and I'll kick you in the legs. That's been their experience, so that's why they say that. And for the most part, they are true. Right? There's only 6 Sanda programs in the US right now in the entire country, so most people are learning how to do, side kick like this. And in which case, what are you going to do? You're going to chop my legs until I cry and go home. Yeah. But it's very important to pull back because if they do parry it, I want to be here when I'm done. I don't want to be parry. I don't want to be here.
Maybe catching them side.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I can come in. Or I can step over and cross. I come inside, boom, and come in. This is especially good if he tries to leg kick me because I go side kick, and when he comes to leg kick, we have a saying among the fighters, nothing for free, which is you never just block and stand there. If he goes jab, and I parry and I stop, it's great that I didn't get jabbed in the face, right? But he has no fear. I went jab and he blocked it, I went jab at you and he blocked it, and I go, okay, well he's blocking, but that means I can come in more. If, when he jabs, I come and hit him, he's got to think now. He may keep coming into that with a jab, but he's not going to do it with as much confidence, and he's not going to just keep jabbing at me. He's going to think about it more. That is the nothing for free. You make sure that if somebody throws something at you like jab, that they have something to think about, not just jab and nothing back. When we do these drills, we also capitalize on the mistakes that people make. A lot of people have what we call a lazy jab, which is I jab and I just drop it. So if I jab and I drop it, he hits me with the cross. The other famous one, we'll switch the angle, is people suddenly think that they're out horseback riding and they're like this when they jab. They jab like this, and then either you get hit with the jab over the top or you get hit with the hook. Right, yeah. In other words, if I may have a great jab here, this is closed, right? But if this hand is down, what's open? Boom. If I go, I may have a good jab, boom. But if this hand is here, that's my lead, that's my opening. So basically the 2 mistakes that people make with jab all the time is they have a lazy jab that they drop, or they jab with the other hand down. So the 2 most basic boxing defenses that we first do is to throw overhand or cross against the jab, and to throw hook. So in other words, we're going to do this in good structure, so you're not going to land the punch most likely. If I go jab, and he parries and my hand is up, when he throws cross, he's just going to hit my glove. If I went jab and I threw it lazy and he threw cross, he's going to land it. Right now, since I don't want you to go, this is what the drill will look like. I jab, he parries and crosses. Since the hands are up, it's not a big deal. I jab with my hand up, and then if he comes hook, I shield. If you do this correct, if you box correctly, you go jab and back. Your right hand doesn't drop, and your left hand doesn't drop. It's much harder to counterpunch me if you box this way. Continue with this idea that when he throws something at me, I don't get mad, I get even. I know there's nothing for free. If he hits me, I'm going to get him back. So we're going to start with jab. Now remember, first easy way, the lazy man way, is to parry it. Come from the outside in. We did it with the pad. I got a couple of options here. We're going to do all boxing ones, but later we'll show you some kickboxing ones. We're going to do the kickboxing ones tomorrow. So I'm going to do the boxing one. Since I'm blocking with, what hand is this? Right. So I'm not doing anything with my left. One of the easiest counters is hook. And this works because, again, the way that people do things, a lot of people, when they throw jab, they drop that hand. So, of course, you're going to eat the hook. He goes jab, and parry, hook. Now, you're going to find people box the way that we show you, which is hands up. Tight structure, a lot of these things don't work. And that's why later you have to do the kicks and the knees, because you're not going to be able to counter punch them. So he goes jab, and I parry, and I hook. He goes jab, and I skip stones off, and I come in. In other words, like I skip a stone, I pop, and I come in. And this works because, again, a lot of people, when they jab, and they drop the hand, so that then you get hit with the right hand. If I jab, and I'm real strict about pulling my hand back, you can see that the right doesn't land that much. But so many people make these mistakes. These two basic boxing punches, boxing counters work. He goes jab, I go hook. He goes jab, I go right hand. So I go jab, he goes cross, or I go jab, and he goes hook. So he goes jab, maybe I go right hand, he goes jab, I go left hand, I go jab, whichever one he must do, and I get used to it. This also teaches me, both sides. In other words, when he attacks me, nothing for free. But I also learned that anytime I hit him, he can always come back and hit me. So I don't get lazy and do stuff like this, because I'm going to eat it. Okay, so you have two basic counters right now. Parry left hooks, parry right hand. So I'm also going to show you some kickboxing ways to deal with this. So if he goes jab, now remember, I'm parrying, I'm just brushing it a little bit. I'm not reaching out too much because I don't know if he's going to like fake jab and come around. But as I brush, this hip and this shoulder is turning. Most of the time also, people have trouble chewing gum and walking at the same time. They think about one thing and they forget about the rest. If he's jabbing and he's not paying attention, his leg will be open. So what I'm kind of doing is catching it at the same time and kicking the leg. Since he's not going to block it, obviously be nice to your partners and don't go, wham! It's going to make for a very short night. So, now we have three options. He goes jab, I block, and I cross. He goes jab, I block, and I hook. He goes jab, I block, and I link. So another thing that we can do is if he jabs and I parry it, I can switch. This one's going to just come over, and I'm going to come in and knee. Obviously, if I'm shrimping, you see how I'm never going to get in there anywhere near him. Or I'm going to eat the counter. So it's the same brush. You switch. Let your head come back so your hip comes forward. I'm going to try to keep this hand out of the way so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, add this, make it 4 now. He jabs, I cross. He jabs, I hook. He jabs, I leg kick. And he jabs and I switch. And left knee. He jabs and I cross. He jabs and I hook. He jabs and I leg kick. He jabs and I left knee. So let's talk about now jab and cross. So he comes jab and I parry and cross. And I parry. Surprisingly, the boxing is going to be exactly the same counters, or not surprisingly. If he goes jab cross, my options are to come back cross. If he goes jab cross, my other option is to come hook. Generally speaking, cross is a universal counterpunch. Whether they come, well, no matter what they come at you with, if you block and you want to hit them, you can hit them with cross. If he comes jab, I can cross. If he comes cross, I can cross. If he comes hook, I can cross. If he kicks my leg, I can cross. If he kicks my body, I can cross. Pretty much anything he does, I can cross. Jab cross, I can always come back cross. He goes jab cross, and then I can come hook. All right, let's just do these for a second, and then I'll end the kickboxing. When he can jab, just jab by itself, I was coming with the left knee into the body. If he comes jab cross, he's turning this hip and this shoulder. So if I go here, obviously I'm going to miss. What I want to do now is go 1, 2, and my right knee comes straight. You can do it with the head pull, or you can just go and just come in and come back. Don't throw the knee really hard, obviously. Okay? Jab, cross, left kick. Leg kicks are always a good way to start off, but the nice thing about when you parry off punches, right now the way he is, right, he's just in fighting stance, his elbows are down in. If I don't set up my kicks, and I just go to kick him in the body, he just blocks, right? We block the body shots. Remember he went left to the body, left punch, and I blocked and he went right uppercut. That's how you block the body. It's the same thing if I go kick, right? If I go kick, kick. Right, now I'm wearing shin pads precisely for that reason, because I just kicked his elbow as hard as I could. If I wasn't wearing shin guards, it would hurt. This is generally though why if you just keep kicking, you know, it's going to annoy him, but it's generally a losing strategy. Of course, when he punches, just stick the jab out there. What just happened to his elbow? It went up, right? It opened up, and we call it. So if I'm parrying that jab, I can come here. It's a higher percentage chance of landing. If he goes cross, I went leg, right? But I can also go body. So let's make it simple. I think we did enough of the cross, hook, leg kick, knee, right? If not, we can do it later. But he goes jab, parry, body shot. He goes cross, parry, body shot. Okay, so you need to develop, there are always multiple options, but you need to develop at least one counter to every technique that can be thrown at you. So, he went jab. Ideally, I should be countering. Perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. He goes jab, and I block, and then the cross comes. Cool. Normally, if I'm trying to work a counter off the cross, I'm going to want to use a little bit of that 7-star, that shot sink stepping. I want to get my left foot here. Okay, and the reason for that is that if I go 1, 2, the third thing he's going to throw is left hook, and I don't want to necessarily be standing here. I want to start creating an angle. So I go 1, 2. I can throw elbow. Be nice with this one. Don't throw it as hard as you can and find out what happens. Very important that I use that angle step, that I'm here to throw it. Obviously, this is not going to land. Everybody sees that, right? This is not going to land. If he throws hook at the same time, if he throws a loopy hook, he might catch me. Whereas if I go 1, 2, if he throws the hook, he doesn't. Okay, from on this angle. If I step a little wide, which can happen, I throw a cross, but I don't throw it straight. I'm throwing it at an angle, and that's because I'm using that 7-star footwork. And the 7-star footwork is a zigzag, but in this case, I finished the zigzag with my hand, not with my foot, right? We did the zigzag with the foot when we did it as a takedown. Now, I'm finishing the zigzag with my straight hand. Okay, another one that you can do is bounce off of this parry into the body shot. So you have basically 3. Elbow, punch from the angle. When you see the angle, I'm punching him in a way that's hard for him to punch me back. And then body shot. personal favorite counter of all time, but it's actually the second one.
Is it wedgie?
If he goes, no, it's not the way. I promise. He goes jab, cross, and I didn't do anything, so that hook is coming. Boom. Okay? He goes 1, 2, 3. First one, test by throwing the counter hook, because a lot of people go 1, 2, when they throw the hook, their hand is down. Okay, so you test them first by countering hook with hook. Once you find out that they have tight boxing and that's not going to land, then you get malicious. Mean-spirited, right? Pretty much. You get mean-spirited. Off the block, straight in. Because most people, when they throw a hook, you're supposed to throw a hook like this. Hook and come back. It's sort of the same thing as when we were talking about the cross, and you're supposed to come back, but a lot of people leave the cross there, and then it's very hard to slip the cross. It's the same thing. When you leave the hook out there, oh, I feel kind of open. He's not supposed to do it, but he's going to do it 99% of the time. Now, a lot of people, when they first do this, you hammer fist.
Like that.
But it's better if you punch through their head, not to the top of it. So, I tell people, make like a little cobra with your hand.
Oh, okay.
So that you go. Now I'm going to go straight, right? Yeah, the rising cobra. This one will land most of the time.